So we are live. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade the Pool live stream on this Monday morning. How are you all doing? Michael, how are you doing?
I'm good, Scott. How about yourself?
Excellent. I'm very, very well. It's already kicked off for me this morning. I've been looking at a couple of tickers pre-market. I'm looking at BMR and I'm looking at Wish right now. There's another one going as well, which is DHAI. They're looking at key levels right now. What do you got?
Yeah, not a lot of them. I got like 2 or 3 symbols. Monday is super interesting after earnings, NVDA, but we'll get to that. Good morning, everybody. Let us know in the chat, where are you from? Where are you located right now? And let's dive in, right? Scott, what do you got on your radar? Probably small caps?
Yeah, I've got a couple of small caps to go through. So yeah, I've just closed the trade actually in BMR, which was going from one of my benchmark levels around 380 to 561. So literally the break of this sell liquidity pool I was in, I covered on this spike here, but the key level for me is actually this 550 to 575 area. So this has a higher probability of turning round, but this is the lower time frame benchmark. The upper time frame benchmark is actually a lot higher on BMR, so I don't know if we could have we got one? No, we are reaching it. No, my bad. We have reached it. So I'm looking at a little sell pattern. If we can see some rejection here, I would start to draw in some smaller levels and have a look, see if we can't get a short on BMR, but I do need that confirmation before we jump in.
Nice.
Have you got anything on a big cap for me before I do the next one? We do an alternate.
Yeah, look at the MNDY Monday. That's a interesting company to watch. We are using it here at Trade the Pool for all the projects and everything. Dropping $28 at the moment after earnings. I mean, it's already had a crazy run to the upside, right? From 120 all the way to 240, and then now dropping very nicely. So, like always, I'm looking at the pre-market, watching it, see where the next support resistance level. What do you have on the chart?
Yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing a benchmark that was hit and then broken out. I think. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so that would have been my 220. I would have started looking for a short there, but we've just spiked above it. So if that's an exhaustion candle, given this kind of crash off it, yeah, I definitely am in line with that on Monday.
Yeah, so I'm marking between the area between 205 to what is it, like 203. That's the area I'm watching right now. We kind of sitting right on it, so there might be a bounce from the opening bell, and if not, if we break in the 203, maybe retesting it will lead to another short. I'll show it in a second on my screen.
Sure, no problems.
Yeah, so that's MNDY Monday. So dropping down right now at pre-market, it's around 206, 207. So one option will be just to watch it and try to buy the dip at around this level. Another option is if it will drop, retest this area of resistance, and then we got plenty of room to the downside. First to this support level coming from the open gap, and then the close of the gap at around, 195. So plenty of room to the downside, few dollars. Definitely could be a great move to start the day with Monday. I got a few more, but let's go to your small caps and then.
Sure, yeah. If anyone in the chat has got something they particularly want us to look at before the open, give us a shout, put the ticker in, and we'll take a look at what comes in there if we can. In the meantime, I've got another one on, which is Wish. So Wish, again, as you'll get to know how I trade, is I call this the manipulation zone at the bottom. It's really accumulation, but I try and stay out of that if possible, unless I get to one of these nice liquidity pullbacks, and that starts to hold. See these kind of 3 bounces in there. If I see them, then if it's also on the scanner, then that's something I'd look at getting into. If not, I look to trade these gaps essentially, and small caps love going to this benchmark too. So right at the moment, this would have been my target for any longs, and I would kind of look to see if there's anything the short side. Now, I never anticipate these too much on day one. I will always kind of wait for that initial indication that we could be starting backside. But at the moment, for me, that's kind of the rally overextended at this point from 4 to 674. But we know we can get these supernovas go crazy, as we've seen in the past couple of weeks. So that's where I am on Wish. So it's not a sell right now, but it's at those key levels. It's acknowledged that key level there. It's pulled back to it, and now it's going on another run. So I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Nice. Good morning, guys. Everyone that's joining in. Okay, I got on my list. Maybe at the beginning we can watch it. Not a lot of volume coming in at the moment, but ARM, right? We talked about it previously. So that's a crazy jump of $65 up at pre-market. That's another crazy move. It's already touched the 126 a few days ago, and now still running up. So that could be also very interesting to follow or watch. In my eyes, at least for the beginning, it's kind of, the momentum is a bit out there, or it's too overextended, right? So in my eyes, it looks pretty good to the downside. Try to look for that. I don't have a scenario currently on that, but just gonna keep an eye. Only 600,000 stock shares at the moment, so not a lot of volume, but we got like 20 minutes. I guess we will reach the million once the market will open.
Yeah, I had a little short on this on Friday. Not big size because of obviously the aggressive run, but yeah, I did have a little play here, and
nice.
That Friday action pullback gave me a seller's hold level here, a liquidity pool that should be forming. It seems to be acknowledging right now. So yeah, I think I don't know how deep it can go into this. We'll check it out on the open, but yeah, I think there's definitely possibility there for a little short play today.
Nice.
What else have I got here? Go on, you got something else there, Michael?
I got Nvidia. NVDA again popping up a new high. Like it's every single day creating a new high. I think it's too much, right? And it needs to go down.
Have they got earnings sometime? When are their earnings?
Let's check it out. Earnings was, or actually coming on the 21st of this month.
Oh, okay.
21st after market. So we got like 10 days or so, 9 days. But you know what? In most cases, I don't know what will happen, right? But in most cases, when you see a stock so extended, even though it's a great company and all the AI coming and everything, it's gonna be, it's going to be a great year for Nvidia. Although, in most cases, when you see this overextended move, when the earnings will come, at least I remember that a lot of those stocks that had a nice run before actually gapping down after earnings. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen here, but they're pushing the price high to let everyone say, you know what, I'm gonna go in, right? I gotta have something out of this crazy move. And once everyone is piling in and buying and buying and buying, that's a great place for big money to start selling their shares. So, yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at that one, taking this spread down the bottom here back in the end of December. So literally that kind of last swing there from the end of year and bringing that in from when this last rally started. I'm actually seeing the level right here, right now. So we'll see if we can crack that. There's you can see how it worked its way through this on a slow kind of week, just grinding through that first benchmark, and now it's sitting up there right at 726. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, wouldn't like to gamble against Nvidia, but that is a strong uptrend that at some point has to correct a little bit, I think, doesn't it?
I can share it with you right now, like an insight. Some of our funded traders, I'm watching obviously the account, the live account where they're trading, the pool account, and some of them got very heavy on the short side on Nvidia. So hopefully it will go to the downside.
Whoa. That's just, I'd still need a little bit of rejection at the top there before I could hit the sell button. I think there's nothing, even as you come down the time frames, is there really, that's indicating, I mean, even now, this is just a kind of a bullish rejection, isn't it? Right there. It's in pre-market. So we'll see.
I guess we'll see another bounce up until before the drop.
Yeah, I think what I'd normally mark up on Nvidia here before the start is kind of this area here. So I'd be looking at 730.60, and we've already kind of tapped into that 722.33. That was at 8 o'clock, so that was the liquidity switch on. So that's kind of been acknowledged. But I would expect best execution shorts to be coming at 730.60 and best execution buyers to be coming in at 722.30. Yep. And I think after that, then we could expect, perhaps some sort of either continuation or pullback. So these levels are key at the moment for a cut if we're going to continue to the downside or we're going to continue to the upside. So it might be best to either play these levels or wait until they break out.
Nice. Let me see the chat. You guys are asking.
Got CRWD there. Scott.
The one that on the chart, the one that on the screen, DHAI.
DHAI. Yeah, so DHAI even.
H, yeah.
I couldn't spell in the open. So this is at a benchmark 1 for me. So this was a pre-market play, which a hell of a lot of small caps get this pre-market play. So they hit a benchmark before the open, so it's kind of pre-positioned. Now I've got a level down here, which when it does this and pulls right back, I'd call this a buyer's hold level here. I'd expect price to hold this level anyway, but sometimes it's good if we come in and pull out and then starts to close above like the moving averages again. Then sometimes it's good because we do have a higher level up here at 540, 550. So it's not necessarily to get into early, but if we like drop down into this level, the 160s, 170s on the open, that could be a good dip buy if we start to like kind of curl out of that area and make a push up. The only thing in the way of that I see at the moment would be this whole kind of swing down. So you'll see each one of these at the moment, the sellers have held. So every time they come down, those sellers have held. And the most recent one is going to be here. So I'd also mark that. So if we're going to go to that higher level up there at 550, 560, the key level to break is this level right here around 330. So I'd mark that as a sell side liquidity pool. So that's what I'm looking at this morning. A buy opportunity here, a sell opportunity up here around the 3s. And then if we break and then curl up around there, possibility of a 5. That's what I've got on that. What
nice one.
BMR we did do. We did that. I'll just show you the level on BMR. So BMR, literally, this is the one I took from about $4 to $5.30 this morning in pre-market. I'm looking to see if this level can hold, reject for a sell-off on this one in the first instance. If we break above this benchmark 2 and close, then I'll be looking for longs. I'll always drop down to this 1 minute to try and give myself an indication of who's holding, the buyers or the sellers. And at the moment, the sellers pool has just been negated, so the buyers are still in control. To enforce that, they would have to hold this level right here now. The buyers have a level right here that they could hold right now if they want to continue to push. So there's your level right now. It has just come into it and just coming out. But this is a key sellers level. So watch it. We just might be grinding away for some accumulation to the top there. Only to push it down further on the open. So be careful.
Nice. Let's see what else do you have on your radar, guys. I see. Okay, Jonathan, how's it going from Texas? Good morning. Bitcoin sector. What do you think about that, Scott? Do you have any opinion on that? I mean, Bitcoin pushing higher to the 50s, and you got Riot, Mara, CLSK.
Let's have a quick look here. What would I say? My most recent. So if I was just cutting exactly the same levels as I do on small caps, because Bitcoin does behave very much like small caps. So for me, so again, that's the kind of gap I like to play. That's the one I anticipate is the breakout here of like just over 2,800 to 28,500. That's the trade I would like to take. Now we have broken that first benchmark, and it looks like we're pushing for it, but we're very close to it. Perhaps double topping, but I'd like to see that at 50,600 before a healthy normal correction. In order to just get another long, really. I think we might have a little uptrend on our hands on this, but yeah, that's the move kind of already over for me before a healthy correction. Perhaps a 20% pullback from these levels.
Nice. I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. And my level, I'll share the screen for a second. Sorry.
Sure.
So this is the future contract for Bitcoin on a 4H. So you can really see the support area at around 48 and change. So it does hold it right now. Hopefully we will see another bounce up. But again, we're talking about a 4H. That was a pretty strong move to the upside. So one option in my scenario will be continue trying to reach those numbers of 49, 48, 80. But then if we are dropping down, it would be interesting actually to look for the downside. So it should be something like this, breaking that support, retesting it. You got to see the retest before going all the way down, and then trying to catch the downside. Could be around this level of 45. So that's a nice pullback, because it makes sense. You had a very nice run, as you mentioned, Scott. You can expect to see a retest, a pullback of like 20-30%. Makes sense. So, but just wait for it to break and retest, so you will get more confirmation that this is it. So similar, if you're looking at the Mara or Riot, all those names that are related to Bitcoin, obviously they will do roughly the same. I'll take not a lot of volume coming in, but you have a nice gap here. So in case the Bitcoin will continue to the downside, that also Mara can provide you with some nice short opportunities, just to try to close this gap, or maybe even further to the next support level at around 1940-ish. That could be also interesting. NET, let's look at that. Nice gap after earnings. Always start with the daily chart just to get an idea of where we are, and just looking at the chart, just a macro level. See they correlate, consolidated here, a nice range between the 40 and the 60, and then popping up after earnings. And right now you can see that we have a major level at the top of 120-ish area, right? So we still got room to the upside. So that one, right now at 106, 107. So I'm zooming in, adding pre-market to see some extra activity. And like I said, there is a major resistance at 120, 120. Currently just moving sideways, so I don't have a lot to understand from it. I cannot understand a lot from this movement to the just a sideways move.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, what I would look for is either breaking that tiny support of pre-market and then try to short it again, just because it's a little bit overextended and reach that moment where it couldn't break through the 17, the 117. So it makes sense that we will see a pullback, but I don't have a lot of confirmation here, just because the activity in pre-market is very low.
I got you. Right, what we got? So yeah, CSK, right, Mara. Yeah, okay. There was one other I missed from Scott. What did you have, Scott? CRWD. Sorry, Scott. Let's just take a quick look at CRWD here. This is another one that's been running for ever. Well, you know, it's just huge, isn't it? I'd hate to call a top on this, but it's a big run now. So what can happen with these, right? The benchmarks, like I said, that second benchmark can have an 80% chance of rejection, 20% chance of continuation, but when it does, it can almost repeat itself again. So see, we're kind of off it here, right? We're just off it here, and we've busted through it. I would actually bring this level up and price down, bring this price down and use the same level again and see if these price levels are adhering. So at the moment, I'd call this an area for a little bit of, you know, perhaps sideways action. It can reverse off this level. It can reverse off this level. But yeah, they're the two key levels I'd look at the moment for some sort of correction, just back down to kind of 306 area. If we push higher again, I'd like to see it come back into that. So if I mark up 330 to 360 and then 420 and look at what price action does there. If you see some rejection on a smaller time frame, then that could be good for a small tail. We're seeing a little bit here. So for example, here, if this is going to go to the downside, I would like to see 334, 335 hold today if you wanted a cheeky short. But obviously, look at those moving averages. You know which way it's going on this one. Okay, that's the CRWD for you there, Scott. What else we got here? Someone shouted out Wish again. Let's just have a quick look at Wish to see what's going on. So so again, we've just crashed through that level. Looking to see what happens now. Looking to see on the smaller time frame. Oh, there you go. So that's, if I'm looking at the 1 minute, that's the first indication I would look for, is that the first seller's hold level has worked. So before now, everyone has broken. So that's the first indication that it can work. Wish on the upside would look to hold 650 if it's going to hold for further upside. So we're just coming into that now. So what do we got? 5 minutes until the open here. So yeah, I'd mark those two levels up. And that's what I'll be looking for, one of those to break, to give me a further indication of whether this is over for today and it's gonna fade, or whether or not we can still get a long position in this.
So I see you asking, Canoli, you're asking about Disney on the 106.80. Let's have a look at that.
For Disney, they're buying, what was it, a 10% stake in Epic Games, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they had a nice move to the upside after earnings, now dropping down a little bit. I'm on the 30 minutes candle, and 106.80 to the downside. You know what? I don't see it yet, just because we are at the support level, right? That's the This whole area was resistant. We broke through that, set on that, and then had a nice move to the upside. Now we are actually on support level. So I wouldn't take the break unless I would see, and in most cases, I wouldn't take the break unless I'll see the retest first, just to give me a little bit more of confirmation, so I won't be stuck within this, manipulation movement. So a break, a retest, and then go short, that makes more sense to me than just taking that short position once it will break the 106.80. Make sure you're watching this 104, 105 area. It should act as support as well. And I got this 200 EMA, 200 exponential moving average. And you can see very clearly how it worked in the past with pre-market on a 30-minute chart. So acted as support here, another one here, another one here. So it makes sense. Most cases when you see something that, this is technical analysis generally, right? We are expecting to see what we saw previously. So if any type of indicator, you see it return and work exactly as it worked before, makes sense that it will work again when we will reach that too. So that could be a nice place to cover, or maybe even we will have to have a look intraday, but maybe even try to buy the dip around this level too. So that's what I'm watching or looking for it.
680. Okay, so I'll just give you my take on that one, Michael, on the open then. So I would expect to have some best executions at 105.80. I know the price mentioned there by Nolly was 106.80. And I also have the liquidity pool from that last move there on, no, is that Thursday? That's Thursday's move. So Thursday's up push move off the news and then pulling back into this buyer's hold liquidity pool. So this would be a natural level for price to accumulate at, but be careful on the open that we don't push down to this 105.80 in order to grab that extra liquidity that is sitting down here in this pool. But they're the key levels, 108.95 for me and 105.80. Again, anything pushing outside of there could gain momentum to the side that is breaking. But at the minute, that's where I'd expect orders to be executed at or near the open.
Nice. ARM, we talked about it. Julia, how are you doing? How is your Monday, TTP? Our Monday started great. Let's see what the market will bring. Nasdaq is pushing higher. On the daily chart, it looks that it could pull back a little bit, the NQ. And so looking at the daily chart, might see another drop to the downside. But generally speaking, if you're looking at this amazing channel to the upside, we still got plenty of room to reach that higher band. But going a little bit lower than that to an hourly chart, that looks pretty good to the downside to reach those support level and maybe then turn around and push to a new highs. So good luck, guys.
I think I just heard the bell there. So let's take a look at some of these. I've got Wish on, looking at Wish on the 1 minute here. So that buyer's liquidity pool seems to be failing at this point. So that is a sell confirmation. We had a sell confirmation up here at 686. That was the indication the first time this held. Now we're heading on back down below that. So if we can curl back into this buyer's liquidity pool and drop off, then that would be a good trade back down. So let's see where I would target that one. The most recent swings to the first target I would have. We're just getting into it now. So this is the level you look to hold. Now, there are plenty of retail traders that look for a color change at this level, so be careful of that. So right here, we get a color change from red to green, you'll probably see some retail buy orders come in. But right now, I think there's a level down at 598.6 that that would provide an area of further liquidity. The whole move to what's been happening lately on these trades is we kind of push down to this lower level of 540 and rest until after lunch. And then after lunch, we start to curl out of this and push up and retest or make new highs of that liquidity level that's just up there. So that's wish open. What have you got over there? You looking for anything long or short right now, Michael?
Yeah, I'm watching Monday. We talked about it.
Yep.
I think it's already flying from the button. We marked those levels between the 195 to 199. Reached that flying high. Makes sense after this crazy drop. But let's see if we can get maybe even a nice short afterwards. In most cases, this is a gapper, right? A gap down. Let me show it to you without the pre-market. So what happened here is basically in the previous day, right, on Friday, a lot of some guys took long and others took short, right? The guys that took long and opened with that minus 11 or even a little bit higher than that, 11 or 12% down, most of them will start to average down their position, so they will buy here, right? The guys that took short here actually opened with a nice percent of profit, so they cover their shorts and clicking the mouse key on the buy button, right? So you see this nice push to the upside. Once everything is settled, then in a lot of the cases, the price will reach a liquidity level and then will start dropping down again, because there is something wrong with the company currently. So what definitely I would look for is basically a level that can block the price to continue to the upside and then try to short it. It could be in the next few minutes.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. So just taking a look here at BMR then. So BMR is overextended benchmark 2. It's a huge push off benchmark 2. I would be looking now for sellers to hold a level. So as soon as it starts to push back, I am looking for confirmation. It'd be very aggressive to do it right now. The only thing I have in my favor is that we've kind of exhausted over that benchmark 2 level. So I am looking for a short rather than a long at this point. And I'm trying to be patient and not kind of get a lot of FOMO going on here. So my ideal play would be now to see price come back up to 820 in order to take a start position, because if it does come up there, then I'm literally just risking high of day and it's a very safe area for me to play. Had I just shorted that big red candle 683, that's still kind of 50 cents against me already. So yeah, I just like to play this, make this red. I'd just like to wait and see if we can't get those sellers to hold this higher level first. So that's what I'm looking at here. I'm just going to open up the dome here. So I'll see. I do want to see some rejection at 820 here to get into this. A very aggressive sell order. It's very front side. I'm literally just playing on exhaustion over this level here at 570 at the moment. But it could be a quick resolution to this trade if it pushes to the upside. But let's see what we've got. What else have we got in the chat? Looking at BMR going hollow. When I look at hollow, let's have a look at hollow. That was a huge hollow. Yeah, was huge last week.
Crazy.
That's like one of the hottest tickers on Twitter last week. So hollow. So yeah. So this is what I say when I mean stocks like to kind of rest. It doesn't necessarily mean it's over, but hollow obviously had a huge gap run up to kind of 50 from the $2 mark. And then this is where I'd say it's kind of over and done with its resting. Now, what it's done is just, so I see these levels as 3 areas of liquidity, the top, the middle, and the bottom. So for me, this is why we're accumulating here potentially, is that we've just dipped into that bottom level of liquidity. Now, again, I'll just be looking for a slow curl out potentially of this level if we're going to retest the highs from last week. If not, and this is just going to continue to fade, then you'll expect to see this liquidity pool fail, pull back to it, and then run off again today. So that's my take on Hollow. Let me see, where's BMR? Still, I'm looking for execution on BMR. Okay, still haven't quite got up to my level yet that I'm looking for. So quick push and rejection off there would see me take into this trade.
ARM looking good, pushing higher. I guess we've missed that pullback, but still looking pretty good. Try to see if we can find an area here.
ARM. BMR, sorry. Okay, still not getting up there at this point. So I use these moving averages, just these like stair steppers, these 4 and 9 together, and that cloud that it kind of produces there. And you can use it as a confirmation to get in short if we close below it, but you always find that that's the pair that kind of hold a small cap on an aggressive trend run. So that's normally when that pulls over, it will generally come back down, and that's where you'll get these retail coming in. And just because I call it retail doesn't mean it's bad. They're good entries. These are good entries. These pullbacks and the color changes from red to green are really good entries to take to get in there with the trend, as opposed to just FOMOing on the highs of the move. Anything Monday, on ARM now? On Monday.
Monday just got stuck, basically moving sideways. Very nice bullish candle there, or pattern there. So just moving sideways from the lows. Breaking through it, it could easily go a few bucks, trying to test the 200 and the highs of pre-market, or resistance from pre-market and support. So that could be also interesting. But I'm waiting for the extra drop. I would like to see it reaching a major resistance level and then try to short it. ARM flying a new high. And Nvidia continued to move up, just reached resistance and intraday resistance, but I cannot short it. I mean, that's too aggressive even for me.
Okay.
I gotta see some confirmation, yeah.
What is that ticker there? Sorry, Michael. What was that one?
The last Nvidia. One is NVDA.
Let me just
too aggressive for me to short it right now. Hopefully, we will have another run to the upside, and then I'll try to catch it at around 739-ish.
Okay, so this, if I could just take a quick look at my screen here. So this is what I'm talking about, best execution levels. You can see on the open, we dipped right into 722.26 there and rejected off, and now we've gone to that 730 area. So that's where I expect those institutions to be executing their client orders at those levels. Okay, so this is just normal business, normal daily business that happens every session, every day. And it's kind of after that you kind of find out if you've got an imbalance on the books where they, still have a load of buy orders that they could execute at a higher price. So for me, I'd like to see them come down here to kind of test that. So again, not wanting to chase Nvidia, I'd want to see this liquidity pool down here touched into to see if we can't get a good buy opportunity here. The other option that we have now, in terms of if there was an imbalance of buyers and sells on this stock, is I would look for it to get to here. This would be my benchmark for the morning session, as to where if there's no more buyers, i.e. they don't need to come down to this benchmark, that they can push higher up to this level here. So we kind of worked out of this level here. Now we've got 1, 2 profit targets. I'd like to see a pullback into this liquidity pool, ultimately 742-ish, 744, I think, for Nvidia, if we can hold above this pool here for me. Now, did I talk myself through and miss my BMR trade? Okay, so I still haven't got here up to this liquidity pool area. Now, The problem I have here is if they don't come up here, it could mean they don't need the liquidity, right? It could mean they don't need it. So this could indicate a stronger push down now to kind of $6 here. So this is my best risk entry, but sometimes the fact it doesn't go and get it, it can drop. So I might take a little teaser in here and then add some more if we do get up to 8. Let's see what we've got here.
Tesla moving higher, looking good. We talked about it. We talked about Tesla the previous day on what was it, Wednesday, I guess. And we said Tesla looking pretty good to the upside. Looking at the hourly chart, still pretty much looking good on that. Maybe even reaching the 206 eventually. So the idea on Tesla will be to buy the dip. So every time it drop, try to find this area of support and try to buy the dip. In that case, we already missed the first move. But on 1 minute, if we're looking at, then we might see another pullback to the 193, and then we can try to look for another bounce up. So hopefully it didn't break through yet, or didn't finish the strong move to the upside. Also looking at Nvidia, I'm a buyer on Nvidia, I gotta say, at least to the upside until we'll reach that resistance again. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay, while you're doing that, my starter position on BMR did take a little spike down there, but I'm not convinced by it. So right now, I believe we are pushing for the area I was waiting, I believe. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's just done it now, right? So I am in short BMR. It was a teaser off about 7.15, I believe. And then it went to try and retest that liquidity point, didn't get it. But right now, we could be trapped between these two levels, okay? So that's the short I'm ideally looking for. We didn't quite nail it, but we did reject hard off of that. So let me just mark that up as the buyer's pool here. So now the thing that's key to whether we get a fader or not on this is if this liquidity pool can hold or not. So if this can hold, this could be a good long entry. We may get some buyers in here playing the red to green move if we get it. But for the minute, we could be trapped here. And that's where things get awkward for the shorts, right? If I've already got that position on, I could be straight back to break even, or against me if it comes up to 820. But I'd still, if I see that reject, I'd still like to add to this position right now. But like I say, if you don't get that resolution that comes all the way through that liquidity pool, it starts to get uncomfortable for shorts in this trade.
ARM, did anyone in the chat took ARM? I mean, that's a crazy move. Beautiful move. Tested the support.
I do have to have a look at it. I know I'm so into my small caps that I do tend to ignore these when they go, but these the more that I look at them, Michael, as you call them out, the more I do see them react to these levels really, really nicely. But yeah, that's a beautiful play.
Yeah. So I took some part. I got myself into Nvidia. Obviously, not risking all, just like 20% or so, even 15. I want to see how it will play out. Still got levels at around even 239, 23, sorry, 723, where I will add more to my position. The idea is to see it go to a new high today and then try to short it from the top. We'll see how it plays. Microsoft, yeah, dropping down nicely. Interesting to see. Let's analyze it on the hourly. Where are the next support?
Okay,
we got the open.
BMR's just resting at the VWAP for me right now, so that would be beautiful to see a crack of that VWAP for me right now. we'll see what's going on there. It's always uncomfortable, very short above the feet. Never mind. So yeah, so this level here on your Nvidia trade here, 727 here now, is the level of this last swing that I would find liquidity at. If not, it is like you said, it's going to want to come down and grab 725, 724, I think here. Yeah, so it's just closed through that in a minute. Let's see. Bang on the 200 moving average there as well. I do like Nvidia as well, a little further down, I think. Let's see if we can't just drop into that level at 724. What else we got? What's halted up? Taquito Trades is giving me a halt on the upside. Was that MGIH? Let's have a quick look at MGIH. MGIH. Taquito, I believe you was the winner of the free account last week. Congratulations.
Hopefully this is a trade you took on the valuation account.
Yeah. You gonna own up to that, Taquito? Did you get this? Okay, so where am I? Looking for a target on here, halted. So there'll be two. So what have I got? Anything lower? Oh, I do have something lower. Let's have a look. Start from the smaller time for the larger time frame here. Okay, so I'm going to say this level here. So we could have something as high as 520 on this. But I think we're halting in what I'd call benchmark 1. So we're halting in this area here right now. So coming out of that, bring these across. Let's see where we're at. Okay, yeah, so we've halted up into a benchmark. If this gets really aggressive, and you know the halts can, if we open up, this could be quick pop to the 5s before we reject off. So we'll keep an eye out on that. We've got 324 on the halt. What time did we get that halt on? 4:46. 46. Another 3 minutes, is that? Maybe another 3 minutes on this before we resume, and we'll see what we get. But we could keep an eye out for this 5 level here if we do smash right through it. Put that on watch. Thanks to Keto.
Let's see Nvidia dropping down, actually playing with the level that we talked about at around 723. Broke it just a tiny bit. Doesn't look that great to the upside, but hopefully it could do that. I'm expecting to see a little bit more volume coming in at the bottom when a stock is wanted to reverse. I did add more to my position here. Again, still within my risk parameters, so that's fine. As long as I'm not risking more than what I planned from the beginning.
So we're just poking through that liquidity pool there, which is the third touch of best execution because there was one pre-market, MGIH. Put that on my watch, actually. W. Stick that in there. Okay, so not quite yet. Back to Nvidia. So yeah, we've got that pre-market dip. So that's when they turn the liquidity on at 804. Those machines come on, mess about with the price there, dip straight into this level. Now, if we crack this, that to me, okay, it's a good area to buy, but the fact that we broke this liquidity pool suggests a little bit more downside now.
Definitely. And I gotta share with the guys at home. Look at how beautiful. From time to time, you will see those indicators will work perfectly, right? Look at the ARM, how the pivot point, one of my favorite indicators, intraday. Look how beautiful it held the resistance here, and the price dropped from that. And also look at Nvidia right here at the bottom, reached that resistance right on the dot, and then dropped again to the downside. So from time to time, you will see those indicators work like perfectly. And that's always impressive. Let's see if Nvidia can push higher. Yeah.
So MGIH, so I'm just kind of going sideways in BMR, which I don't like because we have got Yeah, we've literally tapped into that buyer's liquidity pool there, held, and now we're turning up again. So this now becomes more of a 50-50. What I wanted was that drop and straight through here back down to kind of 450. I'm not getting that now, so I will take probably half of this position off if we start to head up to this kind of 760 level here. But for the minute, I'm going to stay with it right now. MGIH still not resumed. Still not resumed here. What time we've got? No, yeah, looks like that's going for 10 minutes. So maybe 50. What's it? 46 to 51. We are at 51 now. No, it's just open 335. So and now it's pushed down to 287 there. So acknowledging that benchmark 1 doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't want benchmark 2 up there at $5 at the moment. So we'll see. We'll see how far down we can get and see if we can hold 230 to $2 or if it just wants to carry on. Yeah, let's see that. That's looking like it's going to reject. So it's just going with the EMA. So here it goes. Goes for another one. Let's see what we can get on this MGIH.
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
All right.
Hey,
now my eye is something was going on there, but got it flushed out. So in the eye doctor
Hopefully
later.
you can
but
see the chart.
Yep, I can see the charts.
That's the most important thing.
But yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here. Hold on.
FANG is moving higher. FANG.
Here I'm.
Nice gap to the upside. Almost 1.5 million shares. Let me share the screen for a sec. So FANG, FANG. Very nice gap. We need to look at the news and see what's going on behind the scene. I'll take the hourly chart just to get an idea again. Where is it? What we can do with it? So you can already see that it marked this level of resistance just a few minutes ago. So this whole area of liquidity. So in that case, it won't make sense to go in and try to buy it just because we have a major resistance on top of us. So the idea was either to try to look for the downside or maybe later on try to see the break of the resistance, retesting it, and then try to go to another push to the upside. But generally speaking, currently, just by looking at it, it's actually, for me, looks better to the downside just because this resistance level, a major resistance level coming from the hourly chart. So we might see a push forward, and then we try to look for the downside between the 163 to 164. Let's put the let's see it with the pre-market. Makes sense. If we would break through that, we will also have a negative diversion in the MACD. So it's also a nice indication that the price might start falling down. What else do you have on your radar, guys? And we got a question right here. Is there somewhere, maybe on Discord, that these indicators are discussed? So, Tim?
Yeah. So 2 things. Number 1, just in general on the on the usage of the indicators in the platform, we have a channel. It's called Platform Discuss, and it's just for discussing the trading platform. We also have a series of we'll have actually a live trading session every other Friday, and when the mood strikes us, so we'll all get in, do just like we're doing on this show. We'll all share our screens with each other, talk about setups, and then we also have typically some feature discussions where we'll talk about specific things. And yeah, I would say come on the Discord if you have any specific questions. Jump in on the platform discuss, and we also talk about how to apply these for sure. So
yeah,
we discuss and people have their preferences, so we'll have some arguments or vibrant discussions, we'll say, on which one works, which one doesn't. But yeah,
nice. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so you will get the latest update. We're gonna start doing a lot of more projects, more educational videos. So make sure you follow and watch it every day.
MGIH is halted again. I got a resume at 51 and another halt at 53. So based on the circuit breaker, we should be getting this resume at 58. So 2 minutes away from that. So I did actually a long, I wouldn't call it a pullback. It was very quick. So it was on its way back up when I did. So yeah, not a lot before 361. What am I? I am in at 361. I'm literally in at the halt price. Well, a little bit of slippage there then, because I thought I was in at about 3. I'm in at 361 on MGIH, so this is an important resume for me. But I'm hoping this will crack on up to 5 in these aggressive moves. That's what I would look for. So that's what I've done. So let's have and BMR. Well, BMR, I think I'm still hanging around this level. I don't think. Yeah. So BMR, I've got that sell liquidity pool holding right now. That's what's keeping me in the trade. So this one up here didn't get touched. So I'm taking that as an aggressive, should be an aggressive. Perhaps they didn't need it. Now this one they have come into. So really now I really need this benchmark, this liquidity pool here, sorry, to break it and get me down into the 6 area where I'll take some off. What else we got in the chat here?
So yeah, Maytar is saying that Tesla is moving higher again, try to break to a new high. I get on Tesla, I get a resistance right here at 195, 195.30. So I'll mark that. That's around here. And that could be very interesting. If we'll break to a new high volume, you will see an increase of the volume at around this level. Negative diversion with the MACD. That could be a nice short position, at least intraday. Again, Tesla, like generally speaking, Tesla looks pretty good to the upside when looking at the hourly or the daily chart. But you might have a nice push to the downside once we'll reach those resistance.
So it looks like we creeped above that NVDA level as well. That we kind of just poked below that.
So
liquidity for a moment, huh?
Holding for now. So I'm in a tiny profit. I added more here. So I started my position here on the pullback, then added more twice here. I'm only 300 shares, expecting to go all the way at least to 6. So right now pulling back a little bit. Still, for me, we need to break through the 200 EMA on the 1 minute chart. We're right where it at. So this is how it looks like on my chart. With pre-market, you can see the 200 kind of flat, but started to work nicely right at the beginning. Then when we retest it again, obviously the level 2, and then retest it as well, got it as resistance. Right now we just broke through it, so that's a good one. We'll have to wait and see until we will hold the 726, and then I'll start adding within the money basically. So a nice profit currently, but I'm waiting to see a bigger move. I'll start to add once I'll get a little bit more confirmation. Still not sure about how big it could go right now. Might see another pullback and then the nice move to the upside. So
go on, Tim.
No, so Gil, don't put the animation yet of the big money.
So yeah,
here we go.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott could see me kind of, I guess, licking my lips or whatever. So yeah, we've got. I was just mentioning, I'm looking at ARM again here, and I did a small reentry because I wanted to kind of pick up where I left off last week. It's showing strength, but now it's got to see if it can break its morning high or not. But it's interesting. This is an example where trade the pool. Even compared to, I looked at the options chain just to see, and it's just for a weekly for a 127 call, it's like $8 or something. So that's an $800 premium that you've got to pony up, and it might you could lose that. That could evaporate instantly, whereas you get a lot more control with something like this. So um, that's just an advantage that there is of doing this, that you can actually work with the shares even if you don't have that amount of capital to throw around yourself.
Gotcha. I've just I think I've just taken a halt on BMR. So I took half off just before it did halt. So it's not as bad as it could be, but that's a new high on BMR, and that is looking 868 there right now on that halt with 5 minutes. What time did that halt? That halted at 01. So 4 minutes, 3 minutes to go, and we'll take a look at that. Sorry, Tim.
Oh no, that was pretty much just the thought I had on that. I was like, wow, I can actually in trade the pool, I can actually still participate in this move. I can't any other way. So,
Nice.
or I can't any other way without just YOLOing lottos, And if I want to do a more managed risk portfolio or profile, then this is the place to do it.
Okay, what do we got?
So I did go ahead, so we'll see how this goes. But it looks like it caught right here. If it doesn't catch here, I'll probably wait for it to reload, because its previous support might be resistance. I'll actually switch back to my chart here. If I go, I'm zoomed way in here, but that's going to be the kind of moment of truth there to see if it can hold this channel, I think. One other one I'm in, I saw it this morning, late last week, and then today. I don't know about other food and beverage. I want to look back on that, but as far as I know, the Napa, the Duckhorn portfolio, did not advertise wine at the Super Bowl like maybe some other companies did, but it's pushing today too. So they looked like they were a good setup last week, and today I hopped in even though they're at kind of the high of the day. So I'm only doing that because I had I'd been looking at it last week. Anything else, I'd wait to see a little more, I think.
Did you watch the Super Bowl yesterday, Tim?
I did, yeah. I thought I wouldn't, but they had the Paramount had a free trial, so I signed up and had it on.
And also Taylor Swift, right?
They put her on camera, so
yeah, it's always nice.
Celebrate her entire collection. They're playing in the background,
Dancing too.
Okay, I've got MGIH that's now pushing through. I say pushing through. It has pushed through. So we resumed that halt, and I really am looking for $5 on this. However, I have this bogey level that happens in between, just bang in between these two, that I don't really like it when it does that. I'd like to see it run off, but in any case, I'm still in this play, so we'll see how that works out. Am I resumed on BMR yet? Where's BMR? BMR still up there. Yeah, so BMR I expect now to hit 964, 964 to 10, 950, 10 area. So another halt up would see that, and then possibly a quick rejection off, but we'll see. They've reduced right down on that, so I will let it go, that dollar, and it will be keeping an eye on 950 and 10, see if we got, because sometimes we can get to that level, it rushes there on a resume, and then it can literally dump from there. At least that's what I'm hoping for on BMR anyway. But I'm kind of working that now as a position. MGIH is in between these two, but still looking for 5. Nvidia, I did long. I took a long position on that little drop into this liquidity pool. So I got that long from 725.66 725.66 on Nvidia. So hoping to see that make its way up to 730. Did you add down there, Michael, or you still got the initial position?
Nvidia, no, I'm still in. I didn't add yet because it's still working this level of the 226-ish. So I'm waiting for that break in order to join. I'm afraid that Tesla is dropping down and actually started the move to the downside right from here. It broke to a new high, but then already dropped. Hopefully it will reach that 195.30 and then we will try to short it. I'm looking for high volume at the top of the resistance. That's the most important one for me.
I got you. Someone called, was it Jonathan called Snap? Snap. Let's have a look at Snap. Whoa. See what I mean about them stair steppers? They're just 2 moving averages. There's the 4 and the 9. They just, when price is ripping like this, you can use those, like literally just hold on unless price breaks. But let's have a look at what we've got. Where am I expecting this to go? So 1220 I've got as the next level. Doesn't have to go there holding these EMAs though, but you've got a 1220 and a 1340 on this. The fact that I can see this big green level means that this has done something probably like a huge run. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, so this huge run here from the last quarter of last year, I had this in from there, so that's a buyer's hold liquidity pool. So I just expect this area to hold price. Now it can hold it for ages. It literally can hold it for ages, but it would need to break out. So it's either going to go to the top of it, which would be aligned with this kind of 1240 area, or there is something up there at 1350 as well. But looking at the smaller time frame, just managing that today, where did we break out from? If I was looking at the micro level on this, I'm kind of taking it to there. Yeah, so it's literally just gone into the small time, the 2-minute benchmark too. So we could see some profit taking at this level right here. Whether or not that is become enough to get involved short, I don't know. But that's where I would start to track this down. As price comes down, I'm just going to follow that liquidity pool in and see if it pulls back and holds. There can be a little quick pop down to the downside. Haven't resumed on BMR yet. Sorry, Michael, go ahead.
No, I'm still watching Monday. I mean, it didn't do anything yet. MNDY. We talked about trying to short it maybe, but it didn't reach any resistance yet. Maybe the 200 EMA, but it's not, the confirmation is not that great here. So in most cases, when it won't pull this, the second drop, basically, it will happen on the second half of the day. So just keep an eye on that and try to see if we get in another push to the upside, reaching any type of resistance. Let's say at around 215, I got a resistance there, and maybe try to look for the downside. And also make sure you're watching the spreads, because right now it's $1.50. No, actually 50 cents right now. It's still kind of high though.
No, I'm playing catch up a little bit still, but on the NASDAQ topic, Michael, are you still short? Are you shorting NASDAQ, or are you out of that?
Today or generally?
Well, I guess I was wondering if you're still in the trade. That, as I remember, you were in that trade before NASDAQ short, or?
No, I actually took a long on NASDAQ, but I covered that, if not on the same day, the day after. But actually, I missed a bunch of a very nice move to the upside. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. pull in a nice trade. Nvidia. Gil, that's your time to click the animation before it's dropping down. Before it's dropping down. Yeah,
Oh man.
we gotta have those.
Yeah.
More of those. I love it.
There we go. I actually, I'm still holding Nvidia from that little dip there. This level is a key one for me. It's either take profit time or it's a spike up time. So it's literally it has stopped at 729. Was it?
9? Yep.
Yeah, literally 729. And the reason. So let's think. Let's have a look quickly. So this is in my way, but because we tapped into both of those execution levels there, so I think that's job done for the initial batch of orders. But now I've got this up here. So if there's more buy orders to be had, that's where they would push to, but they would only push there if we break out a 729. In order to do that, we've got to get past this pool here. But that's what I'm feeling right now is it's recognized that 729 and hasn't quite really pushed through it with aggression to say, yep, I'm going to execute more buy holders in this morning session.
Yeah. I'll add more to my position if it will break the 28, 29, like you said. If it will create this bull flag and break through, I will add a little bit more.
Just got an alert on there. Right, just some other position. So BMR.
Wow, that's a crazy one.
Resume on BMR 949. And MGIH is coming back here. So I'm hoping for this level to hold now in order for us to push to 5. If it doesn't, then literally it looks like I'll get a scratch out of it if this level holds here now. Where are we there? Okay. So that's my level now. I really, if that level holds and starts to go to the downside, I'm less convinced about the trade. So if it cracks above, I'd love to see this quickly go to $5. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Ignore those sellers. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Give me 5. 50 more cents for me. Come on.
There you go. Gil, get ready.
Come on. Pay me 5. There's no point in going. Is it halted?
Looks like a halt, right?
No.
Okay. No.
Oh, man. Come on. One more attempt off the back of this pool, please. Come on. You can do it. I'm in the money, but I just want 5. That's the target. Come on.
Let's see. You're saying coin. You break the 146. Okay, already did that nicely. Nice.
Yep, I was watching and trading crypto this weekend, and then that's what I had in the foreground while I had the Super Bowl in the background. But I was expecting there to be as the game started and ended to see some action there, but it didn't quite go how I was thinking. But yeah, Ethereum, actually all of them, everything kind of showed some strength. Ethereum was the one I was looking at. But...
Sorry, Tim.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
You got 5?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, Tim.
Bring the money. Let's go.
Playing catch up again as well. Did you guys happen to look yet at any of the names from the Super Bowl advertisements?
No, what do you got there?
Well, I was looking at. I was going to look generally at a few of them, but the biggest one was the Temu Pinduoduo, so the ticker PDD. And I'm looking at that for a short, actually, just because That's usually been the play off of Super Bowl ads. I've seen this before with again with crypto stuff and with stocks. They get a big hit off a Super Bowl ad, and sometimes they keep going. You don't want to get run over by it, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell if this is running out of steam or not. So I'd love.
P Diddy,
Yep.
but not the rapper.
No, no, no. That was Post Malone. Although he was just singing the "America the Beautiful" there. I never. Do you know that guy at all? I heard the
Post
name. But that
Malone,
was
yeah,
all.
of course.
Oh, all right. Well,
What do you mean?
you're more hip than me, sir.
I mean, we're TTP. We gotta.
You guys blast music in the office,
Yeah,
or is it headphones only?
especially on no, we do that as well, especially on Thursdays. So we like doing that and raise a glass as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So P Diddy looks pretty good at at one. I'm looking at 134.80 at around this level, maybe a little bit lower than that. As
Yeah,
the
maybe we can
major
put your
resistance
screen
line.
up if you've got it
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Go.
right.
Thank you, sir.
I guess we can mark this area of resistance, right? So it's between 134 to 135. That's a buck. Like generally speaking, when we're looking at the hourly chart, that's a great reverse. Reach that resistance level, held it as support. MACD is pushing higher, sort of like a reverse head and shoulders as well. So it makes sense. We're seeing this move to the upside. But a nice move to the downside, intraday at least, will be if we will reach that level. Let's say on a 1 minute chart, we'll reach that level at 134 to 5, and then we'll try to short it.
Yeah, I went in with just a small feeler one, and
Are you long or short?
I just went short.
Okay.
But fairly small size, just to see if it kind of just misses hitting that level. I'm sure other people are looking at it, but
Nice.
otherwise I won't get in front of it. So
Yep.
yeah, that's an interesting thing with the timing and things too. On last week's stream, we both traded AMD, but I remember you mentioned you were going short.
Yeah.
I actually traded that to the long side, but we both made money. So
That's
it's not just about the direction; it's about timing too. So
no doubt. And yeah, we kind of missed Tesla on the drop. I didn't miss it, but it made a nice move to the downside. I actually wanted it to go to a little bit higher. Maybe on the second half of the day we would see another push to the upside, and then make sure you're watching the 195.30 to the downside as well. So Monday reaching the area of resistance at 214, almost 215, but I don't see the entry price yet. Let's see, what else do we got?
So Nvidia's taken a pullback. It literally respected that 29 level perfectly. Not that I wanted it to, but it came back here.
What's your average, Scott?
I am 66. 25.66, 725.66. It's now is make or break whether I add, because I like to see this pullback from that 729. I like to see this most recent liquidity pull hold and then break. That's the one I want to go to the other side here. So my target at the moment would be up here around 70.30, but the trade kind of gets a little bit negated if I break below this 25 for me. But yeah, we'll see how that plays. BMR don't seem to have been resumed yet. No, it's still on a halt there. With that's huge. That's huge. I want to see if that rejects off this now.
Seeing there could be a loss of momentum too on crypto basket I'm looking at. So
yeah, exactly.
We've got a couple of them falling through super trend line I have there, and coin as well. That could be a rejection. So
yeah, looking at Riot too, RIOT also dropping a little bit after a nice move to the upside. What's the Bitcoin is doing?
Looks like reclaiming, actually, trying to, but it's I've got it up on the screen here. I've got my three biggies, the basket, and then it's looking at coin here, just kind of zoomed in. So see, it's trying to stay in this move, but we've got sort of an expanding, rising megaphone here. So
BMR broke through 14.
That's a huge pull.
That's crazy. Already up 500%, almost 600.
That red to green move. Did we get the? We didn't. Yeah, it's not quite. It's not ideally where I think those buyers would come in. It was a quick poke into that buy liquidity, and this is the key here. It's the break of that pull there that sends this running, but obviously not normally to that extent necessarily. But that that's what we've been seeing. That's what we've been seeing. What January and still continuing into February is these huge supernovas going from a couple of dollars to 20 plus. Okay, let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
Still managing 30 shares of this.
ARM. Yeah. That's a crazy run.
Have a look at ARM. Nice. Yeah. Nice break of that sell pull, run to the upside. What did that do off the open? See, I like these last swings in, like the last swing in from pre-market. And that chunk there, that bit in the, oops, just removed it. Oh, can't draw over twice. Yeah, that bit in the middle there is the bit I like. And that looks like it could be going up to 130.70. What's Nvidia doing? How are we doing here? Oh, it's trying to push that 729 again. 729 is the key number for me. I'd like, yeah, if we can break that, I think you could get a quick resolution pop to that area. Here we go. Can we do it this time? Seven. Come on.
Let's go, Nvidia.
Come on. A nice little pop now.
Yeah.
There we go. No chance of a halt on Nvidia, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no.
There we go. So now that's time for me to take a little bit off.
Where's your target? Okay.
Yeah, so this is it. Yeah, I need to take some off here. It is. So ultimately, so based on that kind of swing down here at the bottom, that's a huge swing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I've got a high level at 32 and one at 36. I don't know whether we'll get up to 740, but that's where the actual, if we're going to keep program buying for the morning session or for the whole session, that's where it can go to. But this is the key the key area now where sells can hit. So if we can bang through this really aggressively, I'll keep it on. But at some point here, if I see some rejection, I'm gonna take some off, or some or all. Let's see, because these are just moving up, and it's confirmation every time that they will have a new level just down here a little bit now. Okay, BMR still flying.
Yeah, still flying 15. That's a crazy one. Seriously, those small caps are just insane.
They have been going to the moon.
Let's have a look at you. On the pullback. Okay. Yeah, that's impressive. You mean the 34? At around $34, this bull flag? Right at the beginning of the day? Also afterward, that was a nice pullback. Looking good to the downside. For now, at least. Okay, we got a nice break at NVDA. That's a good place to start taking some partials out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks pretty good to the upside. To take some 16 on BMR, 1660. Wow. What?
Yeah, I took a $200 loss on BMR. That is a ripper. That is yeah. I didn't pay enough attention to, where was I? That level right there. That break. Yeah, should have covered that. Oh, it was the level here is what kept me in that. But yeah, it's there you go, $200. But we still got MGII and Nvidia. Oh, switch back to, I should manage Nvidia here. Okay, so that's the top of that liquidity pool. If it ignores this liquidity pool, it could be going for its session benchmark. Let's see where that was. I got it here. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually gonna let those moving averages do their thing and then take some off here, if not all. No, I've closed that. I'm out of Nvidia.
Nice. Super nice. I took 200 shares out of the 300, and I'll give the last 100, try to catch maybe another push to the upside. Hopefully we will see the breakthrough of the previous high of the day later on. If not, I'll go and move my stop loss in the money. But I want to see a push to a new high.
Coin, I've just had to put in an OCO to trim my position if it keeps pushing up here, but it looks like it is losing momentum still. And that's an interesting one on coin, because it's one of those where within the it's an upwards channel. It seems like it's losing momentum within the channel, but you know, that doesn't necessarily help you if the channel's moving the direction you don't want. So I just trimmed that to reduce my risk a little bit. Okay. I actually added on there, but I went the wrong direction, so let me take a big drink of this coffee before I click anything more.
We've got target 734 up there on Nvidia for Mr. T.
I'll either be in or out.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So that would be the previous high there. Yep, gotcha.
Now there's two I'm looking at from a couple others I'm looking at from last week. One is this TSVT 27 Bio. They had a decent push off news, and then kind of lost steam here, but it looks like they are getting ready to push up again. So the value of this is there's a nice, you can have a nice tight stop between yesterday, below both yesterday's and today's lows. There. So.
Taketo, sorry, man. You called out TTOO. I didn't get to you, and now it's too late. Sorry about that. You did call out at about this time. Yeah, it's.
What's going on with T2? I know those guys. A friend of mine used to work there, even. So
I just had
cool tech, but the stock is they've diluted a few times.
What are they doing?
Sepsis. So if I don't want to confuse with another one. I think it's actually magnetic sepsis detection. It's pretty clever, but yeah, sepsis is a huge thing. There's a ton of companies with a ton of different things going after it because it's such a huge healthcare impact. So
yeah, so I had that. Yeah, that
Thanks
was
so
a
much, buddy.
pre-market push into 640. So yeah, that would have been, so as you called it, pushing up with that momentum it had there at kind of 628. That would have been then a nice short area for me, looking into that liquidity there. So sorry about that. I couldn't. I did have you on my radar, and then I forgot to switch to TTOO. Sorry, man. But yeah, there was a nice short one there.
So SPY's breaking to a new high. Yeah, IWM also in a new high. The only one that missing the party is the Qs, the QQQ. If the SPY and the IWM will continue higher, then the Qs will join the party, and then maybe then we will see a break with Nvidia, break to a new high. Still got those 100 shares inside. Hopefully, we will also have this a new high in Tesla, and then try to short it at around 195.30. ARM, a new high as well. Nice looking.
So MG. So this is kind of perfect. Having seen BMI, it just makes you feel uncomfortable to do it, but you kind of have to keep taking them. So this is my benchmark 2 area. So it would normally be yellow. So this is my benchmark 2 area. Acknowledged it, pulled back, and now I've got all my colors wrong here. Sorry, this is green. But yeah, that pull back into 560 and that rejection off would be an ideal short at this point. But bear in mind, we do have another huge runner on the tape. And if money flow switches from BMR to MGIH, this could do exactly the same. Remember, this was the key level similar on BMR, right? That broke. So it kind of broke that key level there and the benchmark 2, and then went on a crazy run for about $8. So this looks perfect. That looked perfect at the time. Again, benchmark 2 hit first this time, pulled back to this area. This is a key area to watch for a run, but if not, this would be my ideal setup for a short.
So Nvidia, I just took another 50 out because that was a crazy run, a new high. Might be pushing down from here. High volume coming in. You can see it over here as well. High volume coming in at the top of the range. That's a great indication that a lot of momentum switching hand between buyers and sellers. My idea is to watch it go even to 739 before a big drop, but what do I know? So we'll see what will happen here. Anyway, I took another 50. That's a pretty solid trade, and also again showed the idea of managing the trade, and that's the most important element when it comes to trading. Once you manage the trade and control the risk, then you got the opportunity to really make profit consistently. So one entry was here, another two was at the bottom, and again, because I'm in my risk parameters within the risk dollar that I'm willing to lose, I can add more to the position because I took a small entry at first, and then the nice move to the upside. Hopefully we will see it break through, and then those 50 shares will rise to 1,000 or so. That's a nice one.
Awesome, Marco.
Yeah.
$456 to $390. So I'm not with this at the moment. I'm not with this one at the moment. It's almost 90 cents up from that level, or down from that level. Yeah, I'm on the sidelines on this one, unfortunately, on the short side, but that's the exact setup that I look for. That benchmark 2, that first pullback to the seller's liquidity zone, and then I'm looking to see, can we fade? Is there a huge candle? But ultimately, that whole swing would be my target here. So I'd kind of move one of these up and recalculate that. Now we've got a higher high. So that's where, if we can foul this level, I'd like to get to today. And that's where I'd also look after lunch to see if we can't curl out of it and get another look at $4.50 if we get down there. So
I actually flipped long on PDD here because they're just pushing, picking up again. So it's something like 4 ads or something on the Super Bowl. So unbelievable ad spend.
Pushing nicely, yeah.
Well, and literally the strategy you've got there is that they were advertising, and that is it.
I mean, basically, I'm just looking to see if the momentum holds. So it looked like it could be topping out, and it didn't. So I'm like, all right, let's run with this and see how long the momentum holds, right? Like,
but you've kind of identified that though that is a pattern that occurs with advertisers at the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's common. I know a lot of people were trading different names that they knew or suspected would be advertising. Oh, look at ELF. I didn't actually see that ad, but so there's some interesting moves today.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one where it was more what I was expecting PDD to do. But see, the problem is ELF only had 1 ad. They should have had 3 or 4, and then they'd. But that's a real interesting one. You could, the ranges on that. And ELF is a makeup brand, so in general, if you look at the longer term chart, they've been on a tear. So like we were talking about Celsius and things like that, ELF is another one of those that's just been going nuts.
So earnings, phase 3 trials, and Super Bowl advertising as catalysts. That's crazy. That's brilliant.
Yeah. We've seen it work many times. Promotions, right?
Yeah. So TCO done. Snap still moving on up. Got a level up there at 1220.
I love Nvidia. It's a shame I only got 50 left. I mean, that's incredible.
So that's where that. Let's see if we get there and see what's the time there. I've got 20 minutes. Let's see if we can't get to that benchmark, because to me that would be like the morning session successfully kind of done.
And the best part is, Scott, I made you trade big cap, large cap. right?
Yeah, I
So
know.
I'm done for today.
I know. I put all this effort into the small caps, and I've been doing like ever since we've been doing this. I've been looking on a daily basis at these big caps, and like the risk I've just taken on BMR, right? And okay, MGIH has negated that. That's fine, but when I look at these and I kind of do the same analysis on these, I'm like, well, actually, they tend to behave a lot better
Right.
than the small caps. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm coming around to the idea, Michael. I think coming around to the idea.
Well, a couple large caps doing something interesting here is PG, Procter and Gamble, and CL, which is Colgate Palmolive. Both of them are selling off pretty strongly today. It looks like they're just continuing a trend from previous days, but it's notable the disconnect between tech, retail, and then your consumer staples, consumer defensive. Looking here, target's down. One, two, let me see. Oh, no, target's up for the day. Just
And that MGIH, yeah, a bit gutted about being on the sidelines for that. That's just the effects of BMR taking hold there. No, I didn't short that, but the trade was there. What else we got? What was Wish doing? We had some. So Wish is trapped between it. So this is now negated on this one. There will be a fresh level now on Wish. So Wish now has to break 675 to get more upside. But this is what we can find going into this time now, going from like 10:30, 11 o'clock. We can kind of see us getting trapped between these two levels, and then perhaps after lunch we decide whether we're going to fade or go for a new high. But like I said, this did reach its benchmark in the pre-market, and we've kind of double topped above there. So let's see if we can't get back under there. So we'll see. I'm not favoring either side at the moment, but I would look for a break of either 680 or a rejection of 670 up here to take it down to 610. That's my wish. That is my wish.
How is Wish doing today?
That was Wish.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, so it's up a couple of dollars in pre-market and holding pre-market highs more or less by about 40 cents. LAES. Yeah, that was a short from its sell liquidity pool this morning, just right there. Obviously failed the buy side. Pushing in lower lows. What we got on Apple? What's Apple been doing? Anything?
Apple. Anyone is trading Apple these days?
Nope. Everybody gave up on it. Everybody moved on.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many other companies to trade. Yeah, P. Diddy is just reaching those highs of the resistance that we talked about between 134 to 135. Interesting to see if it will stay in that range.
CNXA.
This could be a catch for PG here. Maybe CL, but PG looks.
I'd look. What have we got here? Okay, so looking for Meta to see what it does here. Again, other than the time that we're coming into, Michael, do you let time of day affect any of your trading decisions? Do you wait until after lunch now, or would you, if the setup occurred now, you'd happily enter a trade now?
Yeah, I guess I will wait and not get into a position during lunchtime. In most cases, even before trade a pool, in most cases I was trading just the first 2 hours of the day, 3 hours top.
Yeah,
I like it quick and dirty.
Yeah, I think so. I think the trade I would look for is if this can hold here. I'd like to see it hold and close below like 476 for a potential pullback to 470. But I'd probably rather do that later if it doesn't set up now, because I think it could meander around this level for a couple of areas. We'll see though. Obviously, a break to the upside, like anything else, means the sell liquidity has been taken. It would go.
Oh, ARM is, I think.
Wow, 133 almost.
So I'm up $600 on that.
Nice.
I should have just full portered it. I don't think it's been red once, but
yeah,
of course that could, you know, you never know. I honestly feel like I can't short anything necessarily. It's just
Today,
you're finding a few that have some weakness, but it feels like there's a lot of exuberance.
Is your preference buy side normally, Tim? Or do you look for the shorts as well?
I mean, in theory, but then last few years I was sort of a perma bear, to be honest, and I got blown out a few times on that even. But I guess from that experience, I've learned when the market just, when everyone thinks it's a deal you can't pass up, it doesn't go along with it, I guess.
Yeah. There's not enough liquidity in that for me. We're still trapping here.
I'm just putting stops on, or I'm putting partial take profits on PG here, just at every little mini swing high on this downtrend earlier in the day. So I've got some take profits at 156.20, 156.56, and then 93 again. Those are all just eyeballing below some levels from before.
Market did a very nice push to the upside, NASDAQ. So just reaching resistance from the previous day. Interesting to see if it will drop from here. As long as NASDAQ pushing higher, Nvidia will go the same direction. So I'm keep holding it just a tiny bit, the rest of the 50. Guys, subscribe to the channel. Join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We are live for the first 2 hours of the day, pre-market and the trading session. Anything you want to add up, Scott or Tim, before we wrap this up?
No, I think we're getting to that time of day now. No, 2 winners and 1 loser for me today. But yeah, it's the opportunity was there, but it's quiet for me right now. It's not got a lot on that I'm looking to take until after lunch, I think.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to understand, because I see a lot of the guys just jumping from one ticker to another But generally speaking, we spoke about roughly like five, I guess, five, maybe six top 7 symbols today. And as long as you are focusing on those that have a lot of liquidity and volatility, you can find those setups and find those trades within.
Yeah, exactly. Stick to those stocks that are in play. Don't just go searching for anything that's there. No, anything that pops up, it has to be like an in play with a catalyst or one of your standard large caps, Michael, that have always got liquidity.
Yeah,
that's why I love conversely, if you have a thesis, don't let yourself take a step back too, because sometimes you might be wrong or you might be right, and you just have to wait. So you don't want to lose all your buying power. When I'm waiting for probably this afternoon, I'm looking at Bark again. So they look like they had their earnings, and then it just sort of went quiet, and then maybe something will happen, maybe it won't. But
so maybe for the finale, question from the audience. Are the accounts leveraged, or it's only buying power that exposed on each? So yeah, a buying power, it's leverage, right? You're using the buying power of the account in order to leverage the position, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It's so you start with a zero balance, right? And your buying power it's not like a traditional margin type thing where it's related to the balance of your account. So it's just set at whatever the exposure. The key things are the exposure limits on your account, and then the daily and overall loss limits on your account. So beyond that, it's just whatever exposure limit your account has, that's what you have to work with. But it's just a straightforward, how many shares times the price, and you take that against your allowed exposure 1-to-1.
Alrighty, guys. So I think we can close this up, right?
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone. We'll be here same time tomorrow, same time, same place. If you can like and subscribe, that would help us out. We'd love that. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.